So we want to cut that shit out and just get those good fundamentals. I know, it's stupid. I see it all the time. All right, guys, today we're going to talk about pre-shot routine and how it could be slowing down your shooting performance, or how it could speed up your shooting performance if we do it correctly. So a lot of the people who I have who come out here and get to practice, start working from like a high ready position or working from the holster, and they're not allowed to do this normally, or they don't have the access to do it frequently at their local shooting range. What we'll see is people who are used to loading from the table, right? If I just said, hey, come up and let's just do a couple shots here on target, let's try to get a nice group. This is kind of what we'll normally see. They'll come up, they'll load their magazines here, not focused on what's going on downrange, right? They get in position, you'll see them start to do what I call the pre-shot routine, right? They'll do their little feet, shake the shoulders out, come in, they'll work that grip a few times, trying to get like a good position. Then once they've gone through this pre-shot routine, they'll then come and try to take a shot. We'll see this a lot with people playing golf. They get into position to do their golf club, and they'll do their little shakes, the little half swing, maybe a partial swing, right? And they do this whole pre-shot routine before they take the shot. Meanwhile, you have someone, I know they're different sports, but you have someone in hockey, they're coming down the ice, they don't have time to do a pre-shot routine. They need to get the shot on goal now, boom, and they just go, right? We see the similar thing going on with basketball. You have guys running down the court doing jump shots, right? They're working on the fly, they're working fast, but then it comes time to take a foul shot, and they get their little pre-shot routine going, do, spin, dribble. Maybe they do you know what I'm talking about. They do their whole thing before they actually take the shot. So what does our pre-shot routine want to look like? Okay, so if we're coming from that high ready, let's just say if I'm in position and I have my pistol here in this high ready, and this support hand is loose, right? It's here, it's in position, it's loose, so I can do whatever. I'm not necessarily ready to shoot. I'm just kind of moving around, whatever it is. I'm not aiming yet, right? As I go and I start that extension, I'm gonna start that grip. So if we go through our fundamentals, I have body position, right? I have grip, I have sight alignment, sight picture, right? Trigger squeeze, I'm setting the trigger, breathing, right? There's my trigger squeeze all the way through the follow through, the pistol recoils, reset, and I'm ready to go again. So that's the fundamentals of the there's more nuance to it, but that's the baseline fundamentals. So we want to get into the position where my pre-shot routine is taking place during my extension out to getting my sights on target. So my pre-shot routine is literally happening here if we're looking from the high ready. As I start to present, I'm setting the grip, lining up the sights, right? Slacks coming out. And at the end of the extension is where I'm going to break that shot right there. Recoil, and I'm back on target. Versus us doing, coming out, setting my grip, lining up my sights, adjusting body position, okay, wham, and then just launching one downrange, you know what I mean? And the similar concept would happen is if we're coming from, I'm just gonna face this way, right? So you can see here, or just swing around. Same concept would happen if I'm gonna come from the holster. If I was coming from the holster for whatever, right? I draw, here's grip 1, pistol comes out, my hands meet, there's grip 2. I'm presenting, lining up sights, setting grip, all that is happening during that extension into position, right? So let's just take a look at this real quick and come in, and let's just go from the high ready real quick. So again, I want you to practice this, and we're gonna work it in super slow motion. What I wanna have happen is at the end of the extension is where my shot breaks, right? So I don't wanna do this and then take a shot and being focused on how fast it goes. I want at the very end of the extension is where the shot's gonna break. So what I can do for practice right now is I can breathe in, exhale as I start to extend. So and there's my slack is back out of the trigger, which I took out during the recoil. So I'm ready to shoot again, right? Again, I'm ready to shoot again. So I'm in position, right? Decide to come back. So again, as I extend, okay? And now what this will start to turn into is I go, okay, cool. I can now speed this up a little bit as I go. So I'm here, right? Same thing. So at the end of the extension is when my shot's breaking. So now what happens is naturally as I'm in the high ready and I come onto target, at the end of that extension, boom, I'm on, right? I'm not having to work the grip. I'm not having to reset stuff up, work trigger slack, any of that kind of stuff. At the end of the movement, I do my pre-shot routine in movement, right? So similar thing would happen. We'll get into more specifics about drawing from the holster and all that later, but this is just talking about the pre-shot routine or going through those fundamentals in motion on that extension. So same concept, if I was here, if I draw, meet hands, slack, and at the end of that extension, I'm on, ready to go. So as I go and I come back, again, similar concept, right? We can just go through the flow a little bit faster. So I come in motion, and I'm on target. Does that make sense? And this way, you just keep working that and it goes faster and faster and faster. But that's how we get to that where we draw and it's bang, right at the end of the extension. And we want to do it in a way that we're setting up those fundamentals with that good grip. So if I were to take multiple shots at the end of the extension, you're ready to continue to shoot. So if I was here and I came in again, right at the end, like my grip is still good, my sights, my body position, my management of the recoil, all that stuff is set in position through the motion. So that way, as we go, we can go faster and faster and faster. But to get that first shot off, right, we're training the muscle memory that I'm doing that pre-shot routine in the extension to get that first shot, so I don't start building the habit of doing this stuff. Right, so we want to cut that shit out and just get those good fundamentals. I know, it's stupid. I see it all the time, right? And that's what we're gonna try to get away from, right? So hopefully that helps. You can practice that dry fire when you go to your shooting range. If they don't let you come from the holster or they don't let you do a high ready because maybe you're at your indoor shooting range, what you can simply do is this. So here's another a variation. I can just go from here and again, have that support hand loose. I can just go from here, and the reason I want that support hand to be loosed is because if I'm coming out of the holster, I have to meet my hands and this hand isn't tight. If I'm coming from that high ready and I'm moving, right, when I bring the hands together, they're not tight. So if I'm gonna do something from like a center ready, right, I can just come here, I can meet my hands, they don't have to be tight, and then I can just come from here, extend out, right, and I can work this. And that I can just do basically to meet range rules. Is it a good position to know how to do anyway? Yeah, it's fine. But again, that might be something that's a little bit more appropriate for your shooting range. But see what they'll let you do. You can work whatever variation you want. But again, we're just gonna work on those fundamentals of that pre-shot routine, taking up all those points of performance in motion so that at the end of the extension is when we're breaking that shot immediately. And this will get us fast, accurate shots downrange. Hope that helps.